Welcome to my channel. My name is Emmy from Emmy Evolving. If this is your first time joining me, thank you for finding me. If this is not your first time, thank you for coming back. So I asked what this conversation was going to be about, and what I heard is Ascension is accelerating and pushing for you to succeed. So Ascension is accelerating and pushing for you to succeed. How are you guys doing? Just getting some cards. Okay. It's going to be fine. It's going to be fine. So, what could that possibly mean? Ascension is accelerating and pushing for you to succeed. That means there is probably some degree of difficulty that you're facing. That means you've probably been trying to navigate something and it's been challenging you. Challenges are not always bad, but challenges are challenging. So let's see where this conversation is going to go. Let me adjust that. Okay. So I will be going live tomorrow in the evening for the 9/7 super blood moon lunar eclipse and 9/9 portal. So alrighty, let's get started. So Ascension is accelerating, right? Okay. You have to be careful how you process this period, because the way you process is going to be the determining factor in how this is experienced. Meaning, will it be destructive or will it be a deconstruction that leads to further expansion and growth? It's really up to you. How you choose to move through this is up to you. Okay. So passion. Fire can work in many different ways. It can be used to destroy, but it can also be used to sustain. So are you going to take this very intense emotion and use it to sustain? Are you going to take this very intense emotion and use it to help you stay warm during a very cold period? These are choices that we make, and oftentimes we make these choices without realizing that we are making them. We allow our emotions, we allow our disappointment to be the very thing that tempers the experience. It becomes the thing that is allowed to choose whether we're going to see this as a period of hurt, pain, suffering, inconvenience, or if we're going to see this as an opportunity for growth. So there are some things that you can't clear away, and these things that you can't clear away are definitely things that you need to face. You need to allow yourself to take a good look at it and You need to see it for what it is. It's an invitation for growth and expansion. It's an invitation for you to move beyond the very thing that you have unknowingly been allowing to block you. You've been unknowingly allowing to distort your view. If you allow yourself to get distorted, you're not going to be able to guide yourself out of what you're experiencing. And whatever you're experiencing, it requires you to be soft and kind with yourself. It requires grace and compassion first and foremost to the self. So this is something you can't just push this away, whatever it is. You can't just push it away. Okay. You have to stand strong and you have to take responsibility for this opportunity you're being presented for, again, growth and expansion. This can gift you tremendous understanding about your path. So the metal can discipline, armor, boundaries. You need to be careful that your boundaries and the ways in which you try and protect yourself, the ways in which you attempt to hold space for yourself, doesn't become a prison. There's a difference between armor and being locked in an iron mask. There's a difference. And you need to be able to see how some of the things that, no. So Michael says, now I have to explain myself because I just randomly said no. I was answering myself because in my mind, I was saying to myself, I don't think I can do this reading today. I don't think I can have this conversation with my community today. And the answer is no, I can and I will, because I'm being invited by my soul to rise above. To rise above a stumbling block that I've struggled with called grief. It's called grief. And grief is what it is. It's an exploration of the human sense of loss. And the greater the sense of loss, the greater the grief, the harder it is to process. If you allow yourself to process it, you're gifted with tremendous clarity about yourself, about the love that you shared with whatever you're grieving. And it opens you up to growth. What was once nothing but armor that's become hardened and now serving as your prison, it softens and it opens and it expands. So it's this second part of a conversation that began, I think, last week. And it concludes the same, but different. Same, but different. So last week, I had shared that I was helping a friend whose mother was in an extreme medical circumstance. And no. So I was helping a friend. I will share what has been publicly shared. Her mother was jogging, taking a walk in the evening, and someone got on a bicycle intoxicated. That's what they're alleging. The police are alleging. And I don't know what happened. He ran into her and knocked her over. And as a result of that accident, I believe she hit her head on the concrete very hard. And she was rushed to a trauma center with extreme traumatic brain injury. And long story short, I was assisting with stabilization on an etheric quantum medicine level until she asked me to stop. Not my friend, but her mother, who had been in a coma because of the injury. And to honor her wishes, I began slowly pulling my energy back. And as I pulled, as I pulled my energy back, the more I took my life force back, the more her brain swelled. And when about 80% of my energy was back, her brain swelled to the point of brain death. And so she succumbed to her injuries. So it's the same, but it's different. It's the same grief that I feel. When my mother was gone, but it's different. Because I understand what my mother taught me with her departure. Above all things, you always honor the sovereignty of a soul. You do not hold on longer than what the soul asks you to hold on for. It's devastating. It's devastating. It's devastating from the perspective of me as a mother and me as a daughter. Because my grief is inviting me to see this from all angles. As a daughter, you're never ready to let your mother go. Never. It's never easy. It's never something you can just decide casually. As a mother, knowing how I felt as I felt her, letting go of her own body, that catastrophic devastation. I never want someone else to feel that. But like my mother taught me, the very last thing she taught me, you always hold to the honoring of sovereignty, your integrity, and what is most ethical in that circumstance. And I know why her mother asked me to stop. Part of it was her recognition that the amount of energy I was generating to run a secondary level of life support, I was willingly allowing it to wreck my body. Bodies heal. I know I can recover. But she didn't want to ask that of me anymore. So now my grief invites me to explore from a wider opening of a wound that deserves to finally begin healing. And it asks me to see that I did everything I was given permission to do and nothing more. Do I firmly believe that I had the ability to continue? Yes. At what cost? It was worth it. It would have been worth it. Could I have supported in a very long recovery period to bring her back into a space of wholeness? I could have. That was not my choice. And at the end of the day, I'm not here in a savior capacity. I am not a messiah, and I don't want to be. I wasn't doing it to prove anything to anyone. As always, I just wanted to help. I just wanted to help. That's it. So when your grief invites you to see the ways in which you are growing beyond your triggers, you are growing beyond your fear, your sadness, that internal sense of devastation, give yourself a moment to see. Ascension is a very messy, very painful process. As it accelerates, you begin to feel the discomfort of expansion on an exponential exponential degree of expansion. I'm understanding certain things a lot more. And yeah, there's going to be fluctuations and emotions, fluctuations in the way you process. And there's a lot of anger. Because why give me these abilities and then bind my hands? Because it was never the hands that needed to learn. It was the mind and the heart. We're all here on a journey that no one else will understand. They're not meant to. And people will come to you with all of these answers, with this clarity, and you wonder, how come I can't be clear on my own life and my own journey in this way? And it's because their answers only apply to them, not to you. It only applies to them, not to you. So their answers were never for you. It was never going to solve your problems, because the reality is you don't have problems. You have opportunities to learn. You have invitations for growth and ascension, but you refuse to see it in that way. The only reason you feel you're suffering is because you feel the process of learning, this massive price that you have been paying to be worthy of the purpose you were created to fulfill, is unfair. It's not unfair, it's just not easy to understand. And this is not spiritual bypassing. This is not what we tell ourselves to help ourselves comprehend the things that we experience in life. This is the reality of why you experience it. And I share this not to make it easier, but to help you understand you have more pathways to choose than the one that you're on that causes you to continue to feel, think, and experience life as nothing but unfair and intolerable. When my friend texted me at night, Michael said, "I don't know that you want to open that." Why? He's like, okay. So I opened it and I answered. And then I made the decision to intertwine myself in a circumstance that I was not obligated to intertwine myself in. I weaved our pain together, and I allowed my pain to lend strength to someone who did not feel they had the strength in that moment. I'm aware of what I put myself in. I am very, very aware when I answer a call, when I answer a message, when I allow myself to receive, when I allow myself to experience. I know I'm putting myself in that space of potentiality for extreme suffering. I feel things at a depth that most people cannot. Not just my life, but other people's experiences as well. So I knew. So when I asked the question in a previous live stream last week, I think like 2 live streams ago, am I enough? That wasn't the right question. That question was rooted in the fear of the child who lost her mother. The question of the adult, the question of the soul, was never, am I enough? In every circumstance I enter into, I am always enough. Oftentimes more than enough. The real question was, will I know when to stop? When enough is enough. You push yourself, you push yourself, you push yourself for what? What is it that you're trying to achieve? What are you trying to prove? And if you don't know, then you need to stop. And if the answer to those questions are things that dishonor you, your purpose, your truth, you need to stop. Proving you can do something that you shouldn't do carries no honor in it. It carries no integrity, and it does the opposite of encouraging growth. It encourages contraction, distortion. So then what needs to happen? You need to just allow your process to be what it is. And what is that? To sit in that stillness that you are gifted with. The moment that grief hits, the world stops for a moment. When that grief hits you and you catch your breath and you can't breathe, that is the ultimate stillness, because not even your breath will interfere with what your soul is very gently whispering to your heart. So what needs to happen? The boundaries, the armor, the discipline. The world can't tell you how to grieve and how long it's appropriate to grieve. And grief is not merely a response or a byproduct of death. For many of us, the reason you're mad is because the grief you feel about the life you thought you deserved has been ignored this whole time. You haven't had the life or the existence you believed you were supposed to have, that you felt entitled to but never received. And maybe that's the thing. Maybe you grieve something you didn't actually put the effort to become worthy of. You see, people, humans, us, we talk about destiny. You still have to earn your worthiness to fulfill that destined path. That's why you go through all the things you go through. It cultivates the parts of you that need to be primary when it's time to step into that space that is called your destiny. Everything I go through, everything that shapes me just a little bit more, whether it be through tears or laughter, through anger or celebration. These are things that are cultivating, reshaping, reforming, reorganizing the parts of me that are necessary for when I need to step into my true role. I don't know what that is, but based on the sheer volume of suffering, it must be profound. But none of that even matters until I can face myself as a whole person again. whatever the profound purpose that I have been made for. Okay. Fine. May my learning be expeditious, thorough, and accurate. May the process to forge me into what I am to be harden me in the places that I need to be hard, but leave me soft in the places that the world needs me the most softest in. Whatever process you're in, it's nothing but a process. It's not your identity. It's just not your identity. There's this song that I was listening to. Let me find the lyrics. Here. Where is it? She says, God, I know I'm not the same, but you knew that I would change. And I think that you're trying to tell me it's okay. I know I've come so far, but got so far to go. And with these brand new scars and this broken heart, it's really hard to know if there's a reason and if I'll ever see it, but I want to believe it. So don't give up on me yet. I think as you go through the difficulties that are just inherent in any ascension cycle, and the more profound the cycle, the larger the payout, the more pronounced the investment in your reconstruction. And I think if you allow yourself to simply go through the process that you're in, you'll begin to realize it's merely a process. And you are not a byproduct of your pain. You are not a byproduct of shitty circumstance. And that you have so much more to give the world after you first give to yourself. After the first round of realization of what you're going through, you have to take a deep breath and allow yourself to recognize your new space of positioning within your life, within your process, within your journey, within your understanding of everything, within your understanding of everything. Positive expectations and clarity in reverse. You don't have to expect positive because this process is not always positive, but it's not always negative either. It's not always needing to be destructive. It's not always needing to make you feel destroyed. But if What you're identifying as is a version of yourself that's no longer aligned, that's misfit, that's misshapen, that's not enough for who you actually are. And the process you're in is pushing the part of you that is appropriate to that primary spot. You will feel destroyed. There's no way around it. But if you realize the part of you that's being removed, the part of you that you feel is being destroyed is not actually you, you'll be able to bear that weight just a little bit easier. A little bit easier. Whether you lift heavy or you lift light, in order to grow, in order to redefine, I would really love my family to stop making all that noise in the kitchen. I would love that tremendously. But that's life. It's loud. It's chaotic. And if you're going to cook, you're going to make some sounds. So maybe that's the message of all of that clanging. You hear that? That's right. That's right. I don't have it in me to yell for them to be quiet. I just don't. Because no matter what process you're in, life just goes on. It goes on even when you feel destroyed, even when you doubt your ability to be able to overcome, transcend, ascend, whatever other spiritual things you want to affix onto your experience. Life continues on. It just continues. And as it continues, you can make the choice to walk with it, run away from it, or drag your feet. It's up to you. It's really up to you. So now I'm at a point where I'm choosing to face my grief. I'm choosing to face my choices. I'm also choosing to ask our community for something profound. What was originally going to be used to help with medical expenses, the family started a GoFundMe. It's now going to be used for funeral expenses instead of the medical cost of recovering from such a traumatic injury. I'm going to share it on the screen. For those who are on TikTok, you can simply go to the link in my bio, the Hubi link. For those on all other platforms, you can click on the QR code or the link in the comments. I didn't put this part on Hubi, but I did create a donation link through our church, Soulwork Synergistics. It's actually a recognized church. I sit as the head of a faith-based organization. We have nonprofit status. And with that nonprofit status, you can keep the receipt for whatever amount you gift to this family as a tax deduction. Just keep that receipt, add it to your tax return for next year, and you'll be able to do that. You can use the GoFundMe link, or you can use our community link. The community link does not take out fees like how GoFundMe does, and I will be giving that directly to the family. Whatever amount it is we raise, I will leave the community link open for about 4 days until September 10th. I believe their GoFundMe link will remain open until they reach their particular amount that they're looking for. It's a lot. It's a lot. I hate to ask our community for these types of things, because I know everyone already has the things that they're going through. I bring it to our community because it's important for my friend. She's part of our community and has been part of it for a very long time. It's important for her to know how supported her and her family are during this period. And I know I've asked her permission to share the GoFundMe. That's how I have the link. I did not let her know that I'm also creating a link for our community to come together and gift it to their family directly without GoFundMe taking any portion of it. I was hoping to come live and just quickly mention it and be able to wear the mask, that everything is fine. And it's just not. And as upsetting and embarrassing as it is, because I hate crying in front of other people, I receive this moment with all of you as tangible evidence that I have grown and expanded beyond my wounds, that my masks no longer fit my face. And therefore, I cannot and will not hide any further what it looks like to be an actual human being, capable of feeling and genuine compassion. This is what it looks like to heal. It's not what they show you on social media. This is what it looks like to heal and become whole. Because becoming whole means you're no longer rejecting the parts of you that are capable of expressing appropriate response to tremendous pain. And maybe that's really all it is that I'm here to do. Who knows? Just be able to feel everything that I feel with no hesitation and no apologies, no shame, and no guilt. And to me, that's like, so I'm just here to be a crybaby? That fucking sucks. But if I allow myself to step outside of my own existence and see it, to finally free other people to be human again. Because don't get it twisted. My tears are not evidence of weakness. They're evidence of me stepping into true power. Once upon a time, for a large portion of my life, I thought and felt that when people see me cry, they see that I am weak, in that moment, and now I'm vulnerable to attack. And that was the weakest I've ever been in my life. And now I'm able to cry, not force, but just allow the natural release of profound realizations that are washed and purified by tears. Allow that, because even in my tears, I am fucking formidable. It doesn't take away from me. It's evidence that I'm receiving the truth of how powerful I am. That even in vulnerability, I am not vulnerable. Because I'm not. And every part of me that breaks is a part of me that was never me. So I embrace the hurt, not because I deserve to hurt, but because the hurt is the doorway to the realizations. I don't seek pain. I don't look for it. I don't crave it. But when it happens, I know what it means. Another door is opening, and I simply have to walk through. To be rewarded? No. The door I walk through leads to another room with brighter light, so I can see myself much more clearly. Maybe we've all been living in darkness for so long. We don't know what it means like to truly be in the light. People talk about, oh, of the light, of the light, of the light. There's a difference between the light of divinity and artificial light. The light you need to walk towards, it's been inside you the entire time. And those who have recognized the profound nature of your shine, they're the very people who will give you evidence you can never forget. Evidence that proves how strong you are. And what is this evidence? Is it the compliments? No. You forget those. You forget those. The evidence you receive regarding your power, confirming your strength, is when people try and tear you down. It's when people come after you, speak badly of you, never interacted with you, but they got so much to say. Why is it? Because you shine a little too bright, and when they tried to take that light without you being aware, it burned their grubby, filthy little fingers. And that's why they're mad. Don't apologize. Don't apologize for being who you are and how you are. They felt the heat before their fingers made contact. Yet they tried anyways. That is not your fault. That was never within the realm of what you have authority over. Never. So what are you supposed to do? Dim your light? No. Why? Because when you dim your light, all you're doing is ensuring repeated cycles of that. When you dim your light, it emboldens those who were on the fence about trying you in that way. I have a feeling people will fucking hesitate on all social media before trying to start shit with me that doesn't have to be started. Why? Because I won't have it anymore. My light is bright. It draws a lot of different types of people to me. Whether I want it or not, that is how I was created, and I have to honor that. Whether you want it or not, you were created in the way you were created, and you have to honor that. The reason your life goes awry is because the parts of you that were designed to do specific things, you're using it in a way it wasn't meant to be used. I'm designed for motherfucking war. For war. Not war with myself. Not war with my healing. Not war with the parts of me that people recognize as valuable. You have to use the parts of you that were made the way they were in the way they're designed to be used. I'm stubborn. I'm fucking stubborn. I'm so stubborn. It's ridiculous. But not for just anything. I'm no longer stubborn just to show you I can be stubborn. Because when I do that, I fight my growth. I fight my healing. I fight the realignment that brings me back to my centeredness. No, I don't do that anymore. Does that mean I'm no longer stubborn? Oh no, I'm still really fucking stubborn. Do you know how many people have tried to kick me and try and tell me to stay down? I actually was having a conversation with family last night, and it was a little bit morbid, but it also was kind of funny because I was like, for my headstone on my grave, I would like it to be in the shape of a megaphone. And then I would like engraved on that megaphone stone the phrase, "Here lies the girl who the world tried to shut up, but she just wouldn't." She just wouldn't. She wouldn't stay quiet. She wouldn't sit down, and she wouldn't play by their rules. And it's okay, because that's what I was made for. People don't like it when you play by their rules. Failing to realize you have your own rules you abide by. Are you trying to be hurtful or harmful intentionally? No? Okay. Who cares what they say? Who cares what they think about the fact that you're honoring yourself for the first time in your life? You are honoring yourself. People who should feel guilty typically don't. Those are the bad people. And the people who feel guilty about every little thing, including honoring their own needs, they tend to be the very, very good, very, very beautiful people. But you can't convince them of that. Why? Well, because it doesn't go along with their belief that they're bad, a belief that they were forced to believe at a young age because you're training for your purpose. It started the moment you were born. It started the moment you were born. And for a select few, it started even before that. So everything that's happening is leading to you understanding yourself just that much better, right? Just that much better. And if you allow yourself to recognize the ways in which your desire to fulfill other people's demands is creating chaos and impatience within yourself, because the resting tree, patience and stillness, but it's in reverse, right? You're creating freaking chaos and you're becoming impatient with yourself because you can't control the chaos. Well, what if this circumstance that you're living through is something that's intended to be chaotic because you need to be reminded to some degree that you actually are a daughter of the cosmos, divinity. You know, I have memories that extend back to a formlessness. I have memories of when those of us who are the oldest of us had no form, no name, no identity. It was chaos. See, but not chaos in the way humans perceive chaos. It was chaos in its flow. It was a space of nothingness and everything dancing together. Maybe that's where you're being invited to return to. A space of acceptance so profound that chaos is no longer something negative. And if I'm going to be really, I'm chaotic in my mind. I am. I'm chaotic in my energy. I'm fucking living chaos. I am. But that's what makes me formidable. You can't predict anything. If you can't predict me, you can't neutralize any of my efforts. You can try, and you can waste your energy doing so. But you will never succeed. Have we ever been able to contain a tornado in a glass jar? Have you been able to stop lightning from striking? Have you been able to stop the wind from blowing across the face of the earth? Have you been able to contain the ocean? You see, you might build these retaining walls that you think will contain the ocean, but the reality is this: piss me off enough, and you'll see things rise from the deep. What does that mean? It's a motherfucking tsunami. There's no retaining wall holding that back. You just better run for high ground and hope it's high enough. Because you will not control me. Only I am allowed to control myself. And maybe if you allow that awareness that no one else can control you, contain you, only you do that, maybe you can begin seeing why your decisions and your awareness of the path you're choosing, the options you are selecting, my God, you have been in control of your whole life this entire time. You know, even since childhood, no one could tell me what to do. No one could tell me that I could not defend to whatever degree I believed I should defend. There's this funny story. They say it in a funny way. I don't know. Filipinos yell my people and everything. I don't know if it was funny. There's this story. I must have been about 2 years old. I was a precocious little fang. I started walking before I was 1, and I was talking early, and I was just so. I lived in the Philippines. I lived in a very rough part of the Philippines. And my brother came home, and he was the one that was born right before me, and he was crying. He was crying because one of our relatives, who was a couple houses down, was teasing him. I didn't like that. I did not like that. And I was just this little thing, and everyone who knew me when I was a child said I looked like a little doll. Okay, your doll do this? So my brother came home, he's crying, and I'm like, what happened? And he tells me they were making fun of him. So I walk my little ass into the kitchen, I get the big ass butcher knife, and I grab my brother's hand, and I said, come with me, show me who did it. Well, we walked outside. And I was like, I'm going to fuck you up. You don't fuck with my brother. It was an uncle of mine who was teasing my brother. And he's like, I'm going to tell your mom, because my mom wasn't home. He was supposed to be babysitting us. Instead of babysitting us, he's fucking making my brother cry. I didn't like that. So yeah, no, I went up to him with a big ass cleaver and I was like, you better say sorry to my brother. I'll fuck your ass up. I was like, to the cuchillo, of course. Malaking cuchillo. He said he was gonna tell my mom, you fucking snitch. I didn't say I was gonna tell my mom you made my brother cry. I said, I'm gonna handle your shit. Yeah. Oh, I'll show you guys a picture. Hold on. Hold on. Because y'all need to see this to understand the gravity. The gravity. I'm about my shit. I really am. Since I was little. I'm for real about being about my shit. Hold on. Let me where did I put it? Okay, hold on. I know where it is. I just have to scroll. No, it's in the favorites. Because no, it's not in the favorites. I gotta just show you guys. Hold on. Ooh. Oh, I got some Babinka cheeks up in there. Okay. Yeah, ain't nobody see it coming. I don't give a shit. Hold on. With my little sunny ass dress. They didn't fucking see that coming. What you say, my brother? What'd you say to my brother? I'll fuck your ass up. Yeah. Like, look at this. Like, don't be worried about my second chin. Don't be worried about my second chin or my Babinka cheeks. Okay. Okay. Don't be worried about none of that. That's none of your business. My Babinka ass cheeks. Big ass cheeks. And that's a thing, though. That's a thing. And no, I wasn't sorry. As a child, I wasn't sorry. Why would I be sorry? Please. Please. Just wait, hold on. I think I have another. Hold on. I think I have another picture because hold on. I need to see it. This is a better depiction because in the pictures I showed you guys, I was a little bit older. But if I find it, oh, maybe I won't find it. Maybe I will, maybe I won't. I don't know. I don't know. It's in here somewhere, but I don't. I feel like it's nearby already. Is it? It is. This is literally me in the Philippines, okay? OG baddie. That's what you can call me, OG baddie. Okay. OG baddie, what you got on it? I got my little bikini. What were those Snoopy glasses? Because I was deep into Snoopy. I was like, fuck yeah. Fuck yeah, we got Snoopy up in here. Yeah, no, I was literally that small. I was literally that small. So yeah. I don't care. I wasn't sorry at all. I wasn't sorry at all. And I remember when like early 2000s, I went back to the Philippines for the first time since we immigrated. And they were talking about that specific story of where I pulled a knife on one of my uncles. And he was supposed to be like the badass of that area or something like that. Um, Y'all, I'm from motherfucking Tondo. That is, if y'all think Crenshaw is hood, we're talking third world hood. That's where I'm from. So ratchet runs through my blood. We went back and I was my relatives were like talking about that story. They hadn't seen me since I was a little toddler, and they were talking about that. And I wasn't even laughing. I was like, I'll do it again. Don't fuck with my family. And they're like, oh, stop it. Naku naman, ang grabe mo. You think I'm joking? You think I'm joking? You fuck with my family again, I will do it again. I'm not playing with you. And they were just like, oh, just too much. Ang grabe. Too much. Like, don't play with me. Don't interrupt me eating my mango. Fresh mango at that. I'm just saying. Reverence, kindness, consideration, joyful activity, celebration of life and abundance. But see, it's in reverse. So you haven't been treating yourself with kindness, consideration, or even reverence. And you haven't been doing things that create joy in your life. Mm-mm. You haven't been celebrating your life. You haven't been allowing that abundance, because the more you disallow the things that are needing to come forward, that are needing to be seen by you, the more you disallow that, the more you constrict those pathways that allow that in, whether it be abundance in health, abundance in opportunity, abundance in whatever. Kat, I'm straight up from Tondo. If y'all don't know, better ask somebody. You better ask somebody. I've always been like that, even as a kid. Like, just don't fuck with people. And I stay nice and calm. I stay nice and calm. The moment you start fucking with people, especially in front of me, that's no. I'm going to have to do something, be involved in some way to correct you. Soul separation in reverse. This is telling me the parts of you that you have pushed away, it does need to come back. It will be coming back. And oh, I didn't even I know that's what they always say. I'm surprised my nickname isn't Grabe. No, Grabe. Okay, so I'm going live tomorrow to do expedites. And a portion of what I earn with the expedites, I will also be gifting to the family. Yeah, there's a couple different brand new things that I've never offered publicly before. And so you can see that on the link in my bio is the Cosmic Catalyst portal. That will be tomorrow. So for those of you on TikTok, just go to the link in my bio, look for the Cosmic Catalyst portal. And for those on all other platforms, you can click on the QR code or the link in the comment. Tomorrow is such a huge, huge window of opportunity, because this is when tremendous amounts of karmic load can be cleared out. Tremendous amounts. 9, 7, and it's a 9-year. 2 plus 0 plus 2 plus 5 is 9. 9, 7, 9. So this completion, it's almost like fragments of divine consciousness are being stood on either side of you as sentries. They are security to complete this cycle, but divinity will honor your sovereign decision. You want to continue with those cycles, you go right ahead. You go right ahead. If you don't, tomorrow is the day that can very much be cleared out. That can be finished off, cleared out, integrated, and all these other things. You need to get rid of all of those distortions. You need to correct the different places, portions of your morphogenetic template that have been destroyed because of your long-standing beliefs about your worth, your purpose, and how you affect other people negatively. The most profoundly powerful of us, the most pure in their intention, are oftentimes the ones who are the most heavily fucked with, attacked, picked on, all of these ugly, ugly things. If we're so chosen and powerful and pure, why do people do this? Because humans are that way. We've been programmed to be that way for so long. For so long. Because for those who are pure and those who are powerful to correct you, it will absolutely correct you all the way through. There's nothing that's left behind. They don't want that. That proverbial they don't want that. They want things to be dragged out, to continue. They want your ascension to be delayed, to be distorted, disrupted, derailed. All of these different things is what they want. Everything except what is supposed to happen for you and you is what they want. What do you want? Everything that's listed for tomorrow's expedites, it's correcting everything that needs to be corrected. You just have to pick and choose which one do you want corrected. Which one can you do on your own, and which one do you actually need help doing, fixing, rebalancing, recentering, recharging? I think for many of us, we have gone into a space of depletion, and we are so far depleted. We don't even know what to do, what to think. I'm coming to quite a few different realizations over the last week or two. You see these right here? Oh, y'all can't see it. You guys can see it. Y'all can't see it. These are binders that are full of my theories and different types of information, studies, notes, everything on different things like Stargate analysis, energy medicine, unified energy theories, alien species, fascia theories, aura spectra theories, energetic anatomy, nutritional science theories, all kind of different things. And with everything that's gone on in the past week and a half for me personally, all of this information is kind of coming together to create another layer of understanding. Did you know for some of the diseases that exist, specifically the genetic ones, the genetic diseases are actually heterogenetic predispositions that will help to protect when allowed to function in the way it's allowed to function. It's very fascinating. This is what I've been preoccupying my emo ass mind with. An example of this, Ehlers-Danlos. 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 EDS. I have hypermobile EDS. And that connective tissue disorder is genetic in nature. Modern science is still not sure how to do the genetic testing that definitively proves you have Ehlers-Danlos, the hypermobility type. The other types, they've went ahead and found the different gene mutations that cause that. So HEDS is what I have. And I'm looking at all of these different factors, these different theories. And then suddenly, poof, I came to a theoretical conclusion. What if I have that condition so that the parts of me that are trying to be accessed by malignant things in order to gain access to previous existence memories, portions of my morphogenetic template that hold these, therefore can be used to access the abilities and the frequencies that allow for me to have that gift? What if that's why I have Ehlers-Danlos? You can't reach it. Why? my structure is not stable enough for you to take the pathway. You go down one pathway, it'll collapse on you. You go down the other pathway, it'll collapse on you. I have to be consciously aware and fully present for none of that to happen. And if I'm not going to give you my consent, you're going to be collapsed upon. Ain't that some shit? Ain't that some shit? And then I was looking at other peer-reviewed studies regarding the genetic connection between people's predisposition for PTSD and other types of things like ADHD. And those type of things can also be very protective and empowering in nature. Yeah. PTSD oftentimes will cause certain types of misfiring within the brain. It's not a chemical imbalance. There's no testing that exists that will definitively prove whether you have a chemical imbalance in your brain or not. These people who are told that they are bipolar and they have this disorder because you have a chemical imbalance in your brain, show me the test, the official diagnostic test, where they take your blood serum or they do something else to test for chemical levels in the brain. They don't have that. It doesn't exist. So instead, what happens? They just medicate you. They medicate you based on the symptoms. Once you're diagnosed with that, that's what you are, right? Wrong. And they don't say that you were able to overcome that debilitating condition. They say, oh, you were misdiagnosed. No, all of my symptoms during that period of my life pointed to that diagnosis. What do you mean I was misdiagnosed? I overcame it by sheer will, because I am not a byproduct of the circumstance I had to live through. I am what I choose to be. And part of the ascension that you guys are going through is about bringing to your awareness, full frontal lobe awareness. You can choose to be something other than what you have been this entire time. You can. You can choose that. You want to hear something really mind-boggling? I'm going to tell you something really profound, okay? Don't get mad at yourself. You've already been choosing that. Your entire life, you have been. You've been choosing that. You've been. Maybe one of these days, I went through something like just really ugly and disgusting that no woman should ever have to go through. And it created a set of symptoms that were very debilitating for me. And so I did the responsible thing, and I went and I sought actual assistance from a trained, licensed medical professional specialized in the field that I needed specializing in. So one of these days, I'll go ahead and I'll request her notes on my case. Because guess what? I was able to resolve and return back to a space of absolute productivity. PTSD, one of the severest forms of PTSD that she's ever seen. And she works with combat vets. That's her specialty, PTSD. That's why I chose her. I had PTSD as severe as a combat veteran, veterans who have gone abroad, entered into the theater of war, and have seen what humans do to each other. And her professional opinion at the start, it would take me years to return to normalcy. I gave myself a year. I did it in 3 months. And it's not me lying to myself. The last few appointments that I had with her, maybe the last 2, I think the last one, she was really overcome with emotion. And she was sharing with me that she never shares this with her patients, but she looks forward to all of our appointments because she sees the effort I put into the advice that she gives, and I commit to it, and she sees every single appointment is massive improvement. And one of the things that she said to me, because I didn't give her the name of my business or my platforms or any of those things. I did not share any of that with her. But I did let her know that I do have an online community and I do inspirational speaking. I do life coaching type stuff, spiritual coaching type stuff, just really about empowering people, genuinely empowering them. And, one of our last sessions, she said to me, I can see why you do the work that you do. And I can see how you can be so successful, because she knew that I was paying out of pocket for her services. She goes, I can see how you are so successful in what you do. Your drive and your commitment, your awareness that you are, and I'm paraphrasing, that I'm a template for you to use for your own healing, not copy me, but see that, hey, these were the options presented to me. And this was the awareness I had about those options when I selected the option. And this is the end result of it. I don't know everything. I only know as much as I've allowed myself to realize based on the traumas I've lived through. All I know is this woman has been in her field of expertise for 20, 30 years, was in the military for a long time as well, works with combat vets. First appointment, she said, girl, you messed up. You are jacked up. You're worse than a combat vet right now. And within 3 months, I was able to resolve it. Does that mean I don't have periods where my PTSD can be triggered? No. It means when I go through those periods, I need to be ever so present and fully aware, seeking out all the options, especially the ones that I don't readily recognize, so that I don't choose to go down that same path again. When you have a laceration on your arm, it's stitched shut, it's cleansed, stitched shut, and it heals. You're healed now, right? That laceration is healed. That circumstance is healed. Does that mean you will no longer ever have any risk of laceration? No. It means now you don't be running around with a fucking blade in the kitchen. You don't do that. You don't play around with sharp things. It's the same thing with your mental health. Any aspect of your health. You experience extreme disease, you don't want to repeat that. When you're able to overcome that, you do anything and everything you can to prevent yourself from going back there. But you won't do that unless you allow yourself to face what it is you live through. You won't ever do that again unless you allow yourself to see. You will absolutely do it again. Why? I don't know why. I don't understand, because my brain doesn't work that way. I do something one time and it messes me up. Oh, I'm not doing that again. Absolutely not. Not in that way. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. So one time I was cutting apples with a paring knife, and this is how you use a paring knife, okay? This is the apple. This is the paring knife. You hold it like this, and you can control. That's one of your most developed movements. That's all you do. You're not going to cut yourself, except my mother, love her, kept yelling, "You're going to cut yourself. You're going to cut yourself." And instead of finishing what I was doing and then addressing her, I turned to tell her, and guess what? Because I was holding the apple like this, I cut my finger. Bad. I would have chopped the whole top off had the knife not got embedded in my nail. What did I learn? If I'm going to argue with you, I'm going to put everything down first. Never going to answer people while I'm cutting a knife. Like, you need to wait, or I'm going to set this down first, and then we can go at it. What we do is completely up to us. Reborn from shadow, but it's in reverse. You're not being reborn from shadow. You're being invited into it. You're not being reborn from shadow. You're being invited into it. And that is a profound statement if you understand the purpose of shadow. Your shadow is a very, very touchy subject for most people within the spiritual communities, on social media, and all of that. People think the shadow is something wicked, something evil. That's where evil lives, and yada, yada, yada. Oh, darkness. Anyways, not true. Not true. The reason that program exists, and yes, it's absolutely a program that was pressure injected into our societies by draconian overlords well in advance of even written history. Okay. We're talking antediluvian times before even that, before the Great Flood, before even that. When humans first began to exist. This was pressure injected into our template. Why? Well, because those who did the hybridization programs, they were aware that there was a fail-safe that was put into place because we're hybridized with Melchizedek. All humans carry Melchizedek code to varying degrees of intensity, varying degrees of concentration. So with the Melchizedek code, they wanted to make sure that we as humans cannot ascend back to our rightful angelic awareness. So what did they do? They put a failsafe. The species they hybridized with, that's a terrestrial species. It belongs to Earth. We don't, but our early ancestors do. So when they did the hybridization experiment, they began to go ahead and do personality and consciousness mapping for this terrestrial species. Human technology has not caught up to it yet. They won't. They won't. They're trying so hard. They won't. So they mapped the consciousness of this terrestrial species, and they found, guess what? Survival instinct. Part of the survival instinct, because the species they chose was much smaller. They didn't want us to be larger than those who would come as emissaries, the control team. They didn't want us to be larger than them. So they picked a smaller species. You know, the hobbits? We first began as a hybridized hobbit. We were very small. Very, very small. So they hybridized that with a Melchizedek code, which is very, very large. And they didn't want us to be able to ascend back to that Melchizedek awareness. So what did they do? They took our survival instincts because we were naturally small. We naturally will not go out at dark. Why? Because that's when the predators are out. So they pressure injected that fear, amplified it, modified our amygdala, modified our hippocampus and our hypothalamus. You guys, when I say I have theories, this is not shit you find online. These are conversations with an elder soul. I have so many memories intact. It's fucking ridiculous. So that's what they did. Why? Because as long as you're too afraid and distorted by the fear of darkness, of shadow, you'll never enter into your power. You'll never enter into your power. When they went to villainize me, every time they've tried to villainize me on social media, what did they say? She's dark. She's so dark. For Filipino standards, I kind of am. They like the mestizo look. I'm lightly toasted. My mom, however, she was day glow. Yeah, no. They love to say I'm dark. And I don't mean my complexion. They like to point out her eyes are dark. You can see the darkness in her eyes. Why? That's because the people that start those campaigns, they're afraid of me. They can't take me on by themselves. That whole concept of, oh, she's so dark. Yeah, they push that because it triggers a fear in you, just like a certain word, demon. Part of the reason I initiated the use of parasitic extraction, referring to demonics as parasites, I'm the originator of that. Why did I do that? Because the simple word demonic incites so much fear into you. Why? Because all your ancestors before you were afraid. I look at things from a sterilized point of view. No emotions involved. Thank God that I'm autistic. Thank God I have ADHD. Out of sight, out of mind. That's why I stopped going to church. I didn't need the fear. Did that mean I stopped believing in God? Absolutely not. I'm evidence of God's existence. Does that mean my existence is in contradiction to Jesus? Absolutely not. I lived with him. He was an emissary. We come from similar consciousness. I'm not a messiah. I know what you guys do to messiahs. I fucking fight back. I don't turn the other cheek unless it's to cock my arm all the way the fuck back. No, absolutely not. So now, are you still scared of the dark? No, I'm not. Why would I be? Now my perspective has cleared the distortion in my perception. Me scared of the dark? The most sacred place on this earth was my mother's womb. No other place was holy enough to bring me into being than her womb. Darkness is not evil. It's sacred. It's the space of unknown, a space so holy and profound that Creator made sure us humans who are flawed because of the codes that were used to hybridize, we cannot see what happens in the shadow or the darkness. Why? Because we still cannot be trusted with the information. It's not because we're weak. It's because the code they took to hybridize us with these little hobbit-like apes was fallen angelic code. They don't know yet where we are. It has to be chosen by each person. What will you do with this opportunity? Because there's an opportunity presenting tomorrow. And depending on what you do, you're either going to get these 3 cards or this one. So these 3. Rejuvenation, duality, and atraxigel. It's in reverse. That means you're going to just return back and do the same old Same old shit that's made you just unhappy. So, is that punishment? No, I mean, it's a thing you've been choosing and it's what you know. And so life just continues. And for those of us who are gathering the courage to look at our own shadow in the mirror and tell your own soul, I'm ready. Be gentle, but I'm ready. Be gentle, but I'm ready. You're going to experience a rebirth of your magic. Do you know the difference between magic with a C and magic with a K? Do you know that there's a difference in the two? What's the difference between the two? Because there is a difference. MAGIC or MIGICK? What's the difference, guys? Magic that ends with a C has to do with magicians. Sleight of I don't remember the term. Where they switch things. Sleight of something. Sleight of something. They do illusions. It's you choosing to believe what you're seeing because you don't know any other explanation for it, but it's not really what you think it is. Right? That's all like hocus pocus type stuff. And then there's magic with a K, MAGICK. Sleight of hand. There we go. Sleight of hand. There's magic with a K. MAGICK. That's actual magic. That's not sleight of hand. That's real. It's the ability to reprogram standing scalar waves, not just to affect a return of physiological health, mental health, emotional health. No, that can also alter your perception about physicality and the way you experience physicality. It's actual. So this is about you returning back to your actual magic, about you getting to that space where you can create circumstance in ways that it needs to be created. So what needs to happen? Let's see. I need to get going. I need to go lay down and ice my whole body. I need to just lay down and, I don't know, fucking eat my feelings or something. I need to fucking be functional tomorrow is what it is. But that's the truth. Whatever I need to do to be functional tomorrow is what I need to do. And that means a lot of self-care. So, okay. So, defend to the end the worthwhile and collaborative dreaming. You're in a space of distortion and it's causing you to think that you don't deserve to defend yourself to the very end because this is in reverse. Defend to the end the worthwhile. You're kind of being encouraged to think that the things that you are fighting for are things that are actually worthy of you, and they're not. That's a fucking lie. Y'all fight for celebrities. Y'all fight to stick up for politicians who don't give a shit about you. You got people like, oh, because you're voting for Trump. Oh, because you're voting for... They don't give a shit about any of us. Who gives a shit? They don't. They don't. Oh, you're a Trump supporter. Well, you should have voted for Kamala. She don't give a shit either. Not everyone with a vagina is a matriarch. It's the truth. I didn't mean to say that out loud, but it's the truth. Not everyone with a vagina can function as an actual matriarch. That's like saying all mothers are good mothers. Some people really had no business being a mother. We all know this. We all know this. So why do we still keep playing this game? because you're in this space of trying to continue to feed the actual machine that is feeding on you. And you think, oh, you're going to offer the person next to you because they don't live like you, they don't think like you, they don't follow the same programs as you. Yeah, if everyone has that mindset, we all get fed to the machine. We all get fed to the machine. It's going to take someone who's going to have to be like, listen, whether I get fed to the machine is not the issue here. The issue here is you should not be fed to the machine. Someone needs to stop the cycle. And this is part of what the ascension is. This is part of what the ascension is. Oh. I just saw a notification. You need to reserve your energy for you. And what is it that you need? Because for me, to reserve my energy for myself means to reserve my energy for causes and circumstance activities that expand my peace. What I need is my peace expanded. So whether it's me doing something for myself or me doing something to assist someone else, will it expand my peace? Yes. Okay, that's what I need to do. That's what I need to defend. That's what it is. But if it's not going to, okay, I need to just go have some ice cream or something. Something. Something, right? Defend to the end the worthwhile. I think what your soul is saying is that you haven't been defending yourself. Worse than that, you haven't been seeing yourself as worth the effort, worth the while. That's not okay. That's not okay. Sacred fool, free from judgment, free to love. Something wants you to think that it can control you with strings. You know, what I've noticed, there's two types of ways people do this. The first type is they will try and do it outright. They'll try and do like a brute force attempt at takeover. Right? They'll bully you, they'll be aggressive with you. As my mom used to say, you can't bully the bully girl. Yeah, no, my mom used to say I was a bully girl because I fucking bully bullies. I do. Well, not so much anymore. I'm kind of just like, I think it's a bigger punishment for bullies to know that I exist and they couldn't affect me in the way that they thought. And I just continue with my life. It really fucks with their heads. I'm not even joking. It like really fucks with their heads. So that's my new form of bullying. I'm just whatever. So, I exist. Great. Keep watching my fabulosity. I'm out. I'm good. That's my new form of bullying. Here's the thing. If they're not going to try and bully you, but they still want to overcome you, they want to dominate you, they want dominion over you, because that's a demonic thing, right? Dominion, demonic, right? Sometimes what they do is they'll involve other people. It's like safety in numbers, except when you deal with chaos. You don't have any safety, no matter the number, when you're standing in the way of a tsunami, when you're standing in the path of a tornado. They all get fucked up. So what's the lesson here? Who gives a shit what they say? Who cares how many people they get to parrot what they are saying? Who cares? If you care, then it matters. Why? Because you're in control of your journey. If you care, you allow it in, and then it becomes a big deal for you. And big deal in a not good way. Yeah, I'm a bully girl. She cracks me up. You bully girl. I used to laugh as a kid too. Why are you always bullying the bullies? I leave the bullies alone. Because I didn't like that. Yeah. She was trying to keep me balanced. I don't know. Shit. If you're gonna pick on someone, don't fucking do it in front of me. That's how I see it. Oh my gosh. So they're using either their words or they're using their influence to try and get other people fucking followers. Y'all are not followers. You don't follow me. You're a member of my community. Now, do you see why I'm like, no, you are not a follower. You are a member of my community. These followers, it's literal. They're followers. They don't think for themselves. So kind of people fucking irritate me. Why? Because they do this shit to everyone else and then they think they're on their high horse like, oh, we needed to shut you down. No, you're fucking horrendous yourself. Shut your coochie up. Yo. You and your coochie cousin. They're shitty people. And they're just looking for excuses to be shitty, to justify their shittiness. I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't. You guys notice I don't involve other people. If I have a problem with someone, I don't involve other people. And since when have you guys hear me say I have a problem with someone? People have a problem with me. That's their problem. Oh, your enemy's enemy. I don't have enemies. I have people who wish, who wish they could be my enemy. Girl, do that by yourself. Do that by yourself. You're such a mess. Go take a shower or something. Take a nap. Take a shower. Eat some food. Wash your hands, you filthy little thing. And they don't like it that I can't take their shit serious. Why? Because when you don't take their shit serious and it's a joke to you, because it is a fucking joke, guess what? They understand they have no authority over you. They have no authority over you. They understand that. When you take that stance, they understand that. So take your power back. How do you take it back? By loving yourself. Free from judgment, free to love. Has only to do with you, no one else. No one else. And maybe the things that people are saying as part of this cycle is upsetting you so much because you secretly, not so secret, you secretly think that about yourself and it upsets you. It affects you the way it does because you're thinking they're bullshit that's driven and fueled by demons, literally, is evidence. It's confirmation. Girl, if you don't stop that bullshit, do you want me to clear your third eye? I can. Do you want me to clear your third eye? Do y'all want me to clear your third eye? I could do that for you. Put third eye in the comments. Write third eye in the comments and I will clear it for you. So I'm like the fucking president of trolls. I am the troll queen. All right, y'all ready? All you third eye people needing a third eye clearing, are y'all ready? Catherine already knows. Miracle Magic over here says, let's get it. Okay, y'all ready, right? Y'all ready? Charging up. Charging. Ready for that clearing? Both of y'all need to clear your third fucking eye. There. How's your third eye feel? How's that feel? Good? Is it clear? Oy. You say, thank you, bully girl. Thank you, bully girl. One more. Hold on. I might hurt myself. I can't. All right. For real. For real. How about this? Put clarity in the comments. The word clarity. Write down clarity. And I really will clear everyone's third eye. This is definitely clear now. Good. Very good. I will actually clear the third eye quite a bit. And that way you guys can choose with clarity the expedites you would like for tomorrow's event. Excuse me. All right. Breathe very deep and very slow. This is only going to go to the people who write clarity in the comments. Okay. This is a good one. Oh, it is. I like this one. How do you guys feel? More clear? For real this time? Do you feel more clear? And I did it rather quickly, accelerated clearing. So some of you might just start feeling now some tingling across the forehead, some mild, almost like spasm, but it's behind the skull, almost like a spasm. There's no muscle there. And then feeling it across the scalp, down the spine. And just your strength and your retrieval of your strength is connected to your self-worth. If you don't allow yourself to get out of the environments that are designed, calculated to drown you, to drown out your awareness of your truth and your power, hi, free to be we, then, nothing's going to come of it. And that's a choice. That's a choice. So choose to exit out of those environments. Okay. Choose to really exit out of those environments, worlds within worlds in reverse. So the outside is becoming, or the inside is becoming your outside. You're coming into a space of wholeness. Most of your guys' pain comes from this feeling of not being whole, this feeling of lacking. What's lacking in your life? Connection? Are you looking, hi, thank you, Mia Bella. Are you looking to connect with other people because you feel like you don't have anyone in your life right now that can understand you, that can help to guide you and support you and all of these other things, right? I'm going to tell you something. Yeah, you feel that way because you're not connected between the self and the soul. You're looking for someone to fill the role, the position, the profound nature of your soul. Your soul wants to do all those things for you. You're seeking it in someone else. Exactly. We are that one. And because you're not aware, awaken in reverse, you're trying to convince yourself you're not aware, but in reality, you are. Every single human being is an empath to varying degrees of awareness, intensity, and skill. Every single last one of you is an empath. Yet you want to believe someone else. You want to believe, especially the mean people. Why? I think part of the reason you don't have the answers is because the answers aren't reaching you. When you disconnect from your actual divinity and you gift someone that type of authority over you, that's not good. That is not good. So, Michael's the one bringing this up. I haven't really been hearing him for a while, but he's really talkative today. He's really talkative today. So he's talking about how, I have had these rounds of people just really, actually, their goal is to bully me off the internet. I don't care. And he goes, she's serious. I really don't care. I've been bullied my whole life. People have tried to bully me my whole life. It's never worked. And he asked me this question, which was intended to initiate introspection. Those people who tried to bully me on social media, why didn't they just instead befriend me and use me to increase their reach in that way? Hey, girl. Hi, Jessica. What up? I miss you. I miss you. I was thinking about you, I think like a month or two ago. To date, you are the only person that's proven me wrong, Miss Jessica. For those of you who don't know the history between Jessica and I had to give Jessica I had to have a difficult conversation with Jessica, not because she was in anything wrong, but because I came to an awareness that our paths had to diverge. Something about me was kind of interfering with her own growth and journey. And so I honored what our souls told me, and I had a conversation with Jessica. And then I sat back and waited for Jessica to launch the next campaign of bullying me. And she didn't. It was difficult. But she just never did. She understood what I was saying was from a space of love and a space of honoring our higher selves. And that was years ago. And to this day, I still have the same depth of love that I have always had for Jessica. Always, always, always had. There's good people in this world. And if you're going to continue to assume that everyone is going to do what everyone before them has done, you'll miss out on some really beautiful things. Some really, really, really beautiful things. And I sat there and I was like, it's justified. People have hated me for less than that, for less than, just letting them know, hey, your soul and my soul said this is no longer aligned. And as much as it hurts me to say this, you have to walk away from me. Yeah. I will tell people what their soul tells me to say. I will always honor that. I could have just kept that to myself and pretended like, ain't no biggie. She will never know. Yeah, she will. And that will wreck our friendship. So to this day, Still my friend. Still my friend. So here's the thing. Move forward and shadow self. The only way forward is through the darkness, is through the shadow. You need to find the courage. You need to find the courage. And I hope you don't mind this, Jessica. Jessica, having found the courage to honor what her soul said, instead of operating from a space of fear, she dug deeper. She found the courage, and the ways that her life has blossomed since. And it was fast. It was fast. It was within a few months. All the goodness was just like very, very clear to me, and I was like, because it would have absolutely wrecked me if all I saw was you suffering. Because then I would have been like, oh my God, what the fuck did I do? Yeah, but no, you found the courage and you like did amazing, amazing things with that. Amazing things. You guys have to understand the way forward is through the shadow. If you're afraid of the shadow, figure out why. Are you afraid of the shadow because you're at a point where you're realizing your power and you're afraid I might hurt someone? Okay, I used to say that too. I used to say that all the time. I truly believed it, like this debilitating fear that, oh, what if I lose control? What if I hurt somebody? Okay, here's the thing. Here's the thing. The people who have that fear are the last people who are ever hurt anyone, because you're so fucking paranoid all the time about hurting someone that you never give yourself the opportunity to even make that mistake. Give yourself a little credit. Just a little. Give yourself a little credit. I've never harmed anyone. Not accidentally, not intentionally, not any of that. But I mean, didn't you make someone pee on themselves? That was not my intent to harm. That was my intent to fucking embarrass. What? They were doing ritual magic on me. What? I could have done so much worse. Who's ever been harmed by peeing on themselves? Hey, that's what you get. That's what you get. You peed all over yourself. I've never harmed anyone. I've never lost control. Why? Because I'm so paranoid about losing control. It will never happen. What? Because I've mastered it? No, because I'm still fucking paranoid about losing control. And why would I be paranoid about losing control? I didn't know it then, but I understand it now. I've always been so paranoid about losing control because, to whatever degree I will allow myself to admit, I know how powerful I am. What happens when a weak person loses control? Nothing. Nothing. Okay, you lost control, you crashed out, you yelled and you cried. Okay. Dry your tears, have a snack, rest. You're fine. You're fine. And just because you're powerful doesn't mean you're good. It's what you do with that power. It's your intention with that power. Just like not everyone that has a platform and some type of reach is a good person. No. You know, a lot of people, and I'm not saying all, but did you know that a lot of people who have a big following on social media actually got that following by starting fucking drama with other people, picking on others, talking shit about others. And guess what? Humans lap that shit up. They lap it up like, oh my God, let me follow so I can follow drama. You think you're weak because you don't have a following? That's evidence of you having no purpose and being weak? I'm going to tell you something right now. Hold on. Let me check. No, seriously, let me check. Hold on. What am I at? So I currently have 19,000 subs on YouTube. And then on TikTok, I have 19,000 subs on TikTok. On Facebook, oops. Facebook, which is, I don't even go on here. Let me see my profile. I have 5.7 thousand followers on my personal account. My second personal account. The first one was fucking wiped off the platform. I told you guys, people like to bully my ass. And then I have 9,000 followers on my business account. And for you guys, you might think like, oh my God, that's so many. Oh my gosh, Emmy's showing off. She's bragging. That's nothing. That's nothing. Not that you guys are nothing. Those numbers in the grand scheme of things, that's not a huge following. It's not. It's just not. Let's be honest. It's not. But does that mean I don't have a profound intrinsic value and effect on your life? Oh, Michael said Instagram. I don't know. I think that number went way down because I don't use Instagram. Let's see. Yeah, it did go down. 9,939 on Instagram. None of that means anything. Why? That's not confirmation of my worth. I'm fucking shadow banned on all social media. I'm shadow banned on all social media. So who cares? That's not confirmation. My intrinsic value as a soul, as a speaker of truth, transcends any type of following number. Do you guys want to see what my soul was telling me? This was a few years ago. My soul was telling me this is where I was supposed to be. It was supposed to be an accelerated trajectory. I fought it because I don't want to be publicly known. I just don't. Tell them why. Because people suck. Why do I want to be part of that? People fucking suck. So hold on. Let me just go ahead and, because it is, I don't want to show the other portion of the image. So my soul told me to prepare, and then it glitched one of my platforms, and this is what it was showing the public. 39 million. Now, if that's the case, then I'm like, okay, I do have a bit of a platform. 39 million, okay, whatever. That still does not confirm my value. It doesn't. My value is set by me. It was preordained by God, but the actuality of my value is set by me in that moment. Because if I'm going to choose to see myself as having no value, then that's how people will treat me, as though I have no value. How do I know this? Because that's what I used to do. You know, I've had people reach out to me like maybe a year ago, or I don't know, recently, some point recently. These are people who only knew me when I was still on Facebook. And at that point, I didn't understand my value and I felt like I had no value. So I was giving everything away, doing everything for free, and all of that stuff. And I had someone reach out to me years later. They hadn't seen me transition to other platforms and stuff and find my actual worth. And they reached out to me and they're like, "Hey, Emmy, it's been so long. If you're not busy, I'll let you work on me." I'm sorry, what? You'll let me work on you for free, and I should be honored, is what you're saying. I want clarity. I want to make sure I didn't misread that. You want me to do like $5,000 worth of work on you for free, to honor me, and I should be excited to do that. Is that what you said? Is that what you meant? Or did I misunderstand that? And then I had to reel myself back in because I had no right being angry with a person who I taught to treat me as though I have no value. That's on me. So what did I say? I said, "It's so good to hear from you again." It genuinely was. It's so good to hear from you again. I hope everything has been well. Unfortunately, I no longer do that type of thing where you can just message me and I will drop what I'm doing to work on you for free. I do have private sessions if you're interested in a private session, and it sounds like that's what would be best for you. You can find that on my website. Or if you're working with a budget, you can go ahead and join me when I do expedites. That's a much more economical way to go if you have to work within a budget, a limited budget. So, whatever you decide, I will absolutely honor that. If you need the links for the services that I recommend, I can also have my team send those links for, ease of access. And, it's so good to hear from you. And I left it at that. Because again, I taught that. I taught people that. I can't be mad at other people for doing what I told them was okay and acceptable to do to me. So right now I have 17 people watching on TikTok. What's up, 17 people? And then I have 34 people watching on YouTube. During that time when I would do everything for free and you could still access me through Messenger, I would have upwards of 600, 700, 800 people on the live stream with me while I was live. And looking at the algorithm stuff, the analytics stuff, it was not uncommon for my live stream to finish with 30, 40,000 unique profiles having interacted with my live stream and stayed for 15, 20 minutes. None of that shit matters to me. It doesn't. I'm not chasing clout. My value is determined by me, not some algorithm I can show someone else, not some analytic to prove what my actual value is because numbers this and numbers that. No, I can do shit that no other people can do. Does that give me value? Not if I don't do anything with it. My value is in my capacity to give in a healthy way without hurting or harming myself in the process. Why is that important to say? Why is that important to say? Because no longer are you being asked to just give and give and give, even when you're hurting, even when you're depleted. You were never asked to do that. But I bet toxic humans will convince you that you have to. Don't worry, babe. When you tell those toxic people no, they're not going to sit there and suffer. I learned this over and 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 over. You get it, right? I've learned this so deeply. They will find someone else who's not yet at the place of your awareness of your worth that will give it to them. You know what I say to those people? Oh, that's amazing. I'm glad you found someone who could help you. Because I sure as fuck won't. I'm not going to. Why? Because I don't hate myself anymore. I don't hate myself anymore. Sometimes I feel bad for myself because I look back and I see all the things I invited ugly people to do to me. It's part of my learning. It was. It's part of my learning. And if you guys need some idea of even just a fragment of the really fucked up shit that people have done, I had this one person who was literally making a living off of me. They were making a living off of their association with me. And when they realized that they could no longer do this because I was walking away, ethically walking away, one of the things that they said to me, because they didn't want me to be able to screenshot it, so they said it via recording. They suggested that I myself, I still have the recording. Yeah. That's not the worst that people have said and done and attempted. It's not. It's not the worst. But it helped me to learn some really profound things. It took me a while to learn it, but I learned it. And that's all that matters, no matter how long it takes you to learn it. The fact that you learn it is all that matters. If you're going to have to hurt, make it count for something. Make it count for many, many things. So there's that saying before I go, that saying of, if you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything. And then that other saying that says, when you stand for something profound, people will hate you for it. And when people hate you for what you believe, I don't know. Maybe it's time for you to just not care. Stop caring about things that don't need your energy, don't need you to participate. People can hate on you without you participating. And if you think you're going to explain yourself, what, to someone who's already committed to hating you? You didn't even do any, did you do something to them? Do you guys know that there was an entire like TikTok trending search? Listen to this, okay? I run an ethical academy that's in the process of being converted to an actual higher learning university, right? We're in the process of that. And last year, there was a trending search of how I'm a scammer and evil, because as part of my requirement for someone to receive instruction from me in my academy, they have to sign a code of conduct. Sorry, have you not gone to school? I mean, even at the mall, when you walk in at the entrances, there's like a poster on the wall. That's the code of conduct. These are the things you're not allowed to do at the mall, or else you get kicked out. Because it negatively impacts everyone else's experience or even endangers other people. But I'm a scammer because I have all my students sign legally binding contracts that state all the rules, what to do for specific circumstances. It's an entire fucking protocol that everyone has to agree to, because the work that I teach is extremely high level work. But I'm a scammer because I have you sign that. And if you violate that, it's an extreme consequence, right? And you don't just get kicked out. It's an extreme consequence because of the extreme danger you're putting everyone else in. You get booted with no refund. Here's the caveat. I don't decide that. Those policies are put into place. They're submitted to an independent review board that now a segment of that functions as my academic review board. They're judging the outcome strictly by policy. Policy, what the person did. Did they violate policy? How severe was a violation? How does it affect the other participants? And then they decide. I don't decide. They're independent from me. They are just given the details, matter of fact details, no emotions, no interpretations. Submit that, and then they go about their board business and they decide. It has to be unanimous. And if the violation is that gross, you get dismissed from the program. But that's me scamming. I didn't know having all of this even in the listing. And then having you sign that before the first day of class. And then speaking about it on the first day of class. And then supporting students through any type of missteps was scamming. Yeah. Let the world think whatever it wants to think. If you don't know yourself, you'll believe what they say. I believe in my integrity. I believe in my ethics. I believe in my elevated sense of what is right and what is wrong, my fairness, my compassion, my grace. So I no longer question who I am. Those things will always remain intact. Why? Because they're non-negotiables for me. They are non-negotiables. The way you move forward is through your shadow. What does that mean? My shadow was my fear of being very direct, having everything laid out, and people still villainizing me for being completely blunt, completely upfront, honest, direct. That was my fear. And now that I've conquered that fear and accepted, people will say whatever the hell they want to say. They will do whatever they do. That has nothing to do with me, and I will not allow it to interfere with my perception and perspective of myself, the validity of my work, the importance of my academy. Yeah, I'm not afraid anymore. And my soul tested me one last time last year when these big creators tried to band together people I've never interacted with, people I didn't even know existed. They're big creators. They tried to band together to bully me, little old me, off the internet. How'd that work? It didn't. So shut the fuck up and sit the fuck down. And watch closely how those with integrity actually move through life, through circumstance, through energy. Maybe you don't have anyone to look up to because you're supposed to look at yourself instead. Start seeing your true value. Start seeing your true self. That ascension is coming. It's coming for all of you. It's not a threat. It's already happening. If you guys feel like any of the expedites that I have available tomorrow can help you through your process, I'll be live tomorrow, 5:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And you can already purchase all of that through the Hubi link on my bio. And then for those who are on all other platforms except for TikTok, you can go to the link in the comment or the QR code on the screen. Also, if you want to donate to the family's GoFundMe directly, you're absolutely welcome to. Click on the QR code or the link in the comments. That will take you directly to their GoFundMe account. It was originally started for the medical expenses of severe traumatic brain injury recovery, but she did succumb to her injuries. And so now the monies they raise, it will go towards funeral expenses. If you'd like to instead donate to them through our community, I don't take any portion out. The church doesn't take any portion out, and it's going to be gifted directly to them. Just click on the QR code or the link in the comments. I forgot to add that to Hubi, so I'm going to add that right now to Hubi. So that way those on TikTok can have the option of either donating directly to their GoFundMe or doing it through our church. Here's the link. Hold on. Did I put it right? Okay. I'm putting it on my Hubi right now. Oh, the image is too big. Okay, that's fine. It's just an image. So I'm going to go ahead and put that on my Hubi as well. All right. So yeah, you guys can find that on my profile bio on TikTok. Tomorrow is a really important date. It's a date that can pull from the 9/9 portal energies. That portal is already almost fully dilated. By tomorrow, it will be fully dilated. It will stay dilated. Well, actually, no, today it should already be fully dilated, and it will reach its apex on the 9th and then stay dilated for another 3 days before it begins to constrict and close. So, yeah, GoFundMe does take a percentage out. I mean, it's a negligible percentage, but I would like the family to receive the full amount that you guys give, whatever that amount might be, $1, $2, $50, $100. I want the family to receive the full amount. So when you process it through our church, we don't take any percentage. We're a nonprofit as well, and we're categorized as a faith-based organization. So that way you can receive a tax deduction. If you're looking for somewhere to do a tax deduction before the end of 2025, you're a small business and you need some deductions, you can definitely do it under your small business. Well, you know what? Don't take tax advice from me. Don't take tax advice from me. But I believe you can. That's what large corporations do. But you need to have everything in order. We do have our the receipt you receive. It has all our information on there, so you can use that as a tax deduction. Okay. I forgot what else I was going to say, but tomorrow. So super blood moon lunar eclipse in Pisces, and then you have the 9/9 portal. And it's just tomorrow is a prime date to really make things happen for yourself. And that's why I'm doing it tomorrow instead of 9/9 portal. I actually would prefer to do the 9th to give me a few more days to get my shit together. But hey, when the community needs, and I'm able to. So I will. I'll see you guys tomorrow, 5:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. I think I'm on all platforms tomorrow. I think so, for the fire ceremony at the very least. And then I'll switch strictly to TikTok for the energy work. Okay. What happened to ever you are talking about? Oh, so the donation, Sharon, is that what you mean for the donation? What happened is a friend of mine reached out basically asking for help. Their mother was walking in the evening time, and no one knows what happened because she was walking alone. Someone who is suspected of being under the influence went ahead and got on a bicycle, not a motorcycle, a bicycle, and he collided with her. She's 75 years old, and she was brought as a Jane Doe to the hospital with severe brain trauma. Her head hit so hard that she had emergency surgery. And this is all in the GoFundMe. She had emergency surgery. They removed a portion of her. They removed a portion of her skull to relieve the swelling. It's a good thing that the family was able to find out and they were able to go to the hospital because no one knew where she was. She was supposed to go to the park, and no one could find her. So they did emergency surgery, specifically a craniotomy. And they removed half her skull to alleviate the swelling. And then she succumbed from her injuries on, I believe, September 2nd. The family had no other option but to halt all medical intervention because the swelling reached the level, the intracranial pressure reached a level that was definitively brain death. So, I was trying to help. I was trying to assist with managing the inflammation, the swelling in the brain to preserve whatever function could be preserved. And then I believe it was on the 2nd, while her mom was heavily sedated, basically in a coma. Her mom came to me and requested that I stop and to shift my efforts into simply supporting her daughter, my friend. And as I pulled my energy back, the inflammation continued to rise. And when most of my energy was back, she reached that level of brain death, and that's irreversible. So I had to honor what her mom asked me to do. And I couldn't help in the way that I wanted. So I figure I would help by sharing with all of you that they are accepting donations if you guys are able to. You're not obligated, but if you're able to, I posted their GoFundMe link, so that goes straight to their family, but I'm also the head of a church and nonprofit. And so I figure if we as a community can raise whatever amount we can raise, then we can just give that to the family directly without taking out any percentages or anything like that. This was a woman that was so full of life, like just so full of life. She worked out all the time. The news interview that the family was asked to do, because now this is a big case. The guy on the bicycle, his charges are going to be changed because he was intoxicated on a bicycle and it led to the loss of life. So it's just, if you watch that, they show all this video footage of how loved she is, how active she is in her community and her family. It's like all this footage of her working out at the park, and just dancing and so full of life. What's sad for us as humans, this sense of loss that we have, sometimes it's an opportunity for reunion on the other side. So she's here with me right now. She says, and I never met her. She says, Anak, don't cry. You'll get wrinkles. But she's telling me to share with you guys just how very, very happy she is that this has gotten the attention that it's gotten, because she, she wants some changes to take place. And she says, show them your biceps. I don't have any more. She's trying to pep talk me. She says I have to give myself credit for the type of strength and stamina that I have, because no one else would have been able to do and hold on as long as I did. And that she knows I wanted to help in a different way. And that's what makes me such a different type of person. And she knows that. She's saying that I would have continued, no matter what, I would have continued to help if I had just allowed her, or if she had just allowed me. That I would have continued, and I would have. I would have. It's okay. It's okay. It's a beautiful gift to be able to be faced with a similar circumstance in regards to extreme medical case, and know that I have learned what I've needed to learn with my own mother, and that I understand my proper place and the lines that shouldn't be crossed, and that I do have the integrity to stop when I'm asked to stop. So she said, don't worry, Anak. When it's your turn, I'll have a prize for you. And she says, I know you don't need a prize. But there's a lot that will be there with prizes. I don't help people for prizes. I don't. Just be good people. And if you can help, then help. And if you can't, then just do whatever you can. And that's how the world changes. I'm gonna go take a nap and just be a human for once. I hope you guys have an amazing, amazing rest of your day. And I hope you guys are able to join me tomorrow, 5:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. I'm going to go live to do expedites. A portion of the expedites I will be donating to the family as well as whatever you guys are able to give. If you want the family to receive the full amount, for those on TikTok, click on the Hubi link in my profile and look for, I think it's the image on top. It's like a black and white image, just a stick figure type image. If you want to go directly to GoFundMe and more comfortable with that, then it's the picture of their mom and they'll be able to receive it. Either way, whichever one you guys choose, if you're able to, please do give to the family. This literally came out of nowhere. It came out of nowhere. And it's devastating. It truly is. It's devastating to myself and especially to their family. So thank you guys. I'll see you again very soon.